good right there. Okay. Hey everybody, Master Amanda here with Martial Arts Pro, and Keith and I are going to discuss what is the process of the adult who wants to become an instructor. How do you get them started, and what does that look like in as far as training goes? So we had a gentleman this week. You want to talk about his excitement about coming in and helping?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about juniors. We've talked a lot about teens and, preparing them to become instructors. But what about your 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old, that is interested in becoming an instructor and painting that picture of what it looks like, getting them involved. And we just had a gentleman last week, and he is in his 60s,
Right.
and just started martial arts 2 years ago with us. And he's fallen in love with martial arts, and has really developed a passion for it. And he just started to learn how to become an instructor. And that what that does not look like is, hey, you're going to jump out onto the floor and learn how to swim,
Teach
jump in
these
with both
10
feet,
kids
and
how to do this move.
you don't just throw them out there and hope they figure it out.
Right. Just because he's been training for 2 years in the classroom doesn't mean you step on the other side of that line and automatically know how to do it.
Absolutely. So we really want to make sure they have it. We want them to feel comfortable and prepared going out onto the mat, even if it's just teaching 6 and 7-year-old white belts.
Right.
Because it's harder than it looks.
It's harder than it looks, and it's extremely important that it's done right. I mean, you want to properly motivate and cultivate a relationship and teach a 7-year-old white belt.
Right.
You don't want their first experience to be, negative or hurtful or incorrect, so it is an important job.
And one thing that is extremely important to us, whether we're here or not here, because we do a lot of traveling, we're gone this weekend.
Right.
I have a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I know you've got some things going on. So even when we're not here, to make sure that same consistent experience for our students, and customers is happening every single day. Absolutely. Every single class. That is so important for school owners, for you to run your business, to be confident in your staff, to be confident in your volunteers.
Yeah, and I've had to be away sometimes, and I wasn't confident, years ago, or I don't like that feeling. No. So that's one reason we created this, is so we don't have that, and just kind of making sure that every person who comes through the training program, one, is the right fit. Whether it's the right fit for us or the right fit for them. We have a systematic way to do that. So the first step would be like this gentleman. His very first action was, one, commit to one class a week. That's all we want. We don't want him to overdo it. And then two, he's just going to shadow. Whether he's shadowing the head instructor or he's shadowing the assistant instructor, that's assigned. He's just got to be there with them and help them out, hold the target, see how it's done. And that shadowing goes on, and however long it takes them to grow from there. They can grow into teaching a small group or one-on-one, or who knows where it's going to take them. But that's the start in terms of what it looks like in the practical application on the mat. So,
well, on top of that, they're also required to attend our instructor training class.
Right.
Which so they're getting instruction, very specific, detailed instruction on how to be a good instructor, even if they're just committed to that one class per week. We've had some volunteers. Right now, that's all he's volunteering.
Right.
He just wants to see where it goes, and we've had parents that are students, usually with their kids taking as well, or just adults that love training.
Right.
Have been assisting with one class a week for 3 years.
Right.
It's just, they're not interested with their schedule. They have full-time families and careers. They're not interested in becoming a full-time instructor.
Right.
But they love helping out with that one class a week. maybe their child is in the class, sometimes not, or maybe they just maybe their class is right after, so they come in an hour early and help out that class. So it they just start with that one class per week,
Right.
and then like you said, it progresses. Well, either way. So sometimes we're doing that to see if it's a good fit for them and if it's a good fit for us.
Right.
And sometimes it's not. Sometimes they realize it's not exactly what I thought it was, and
But it gives them that time to figure that out.
Absolutely.
And it gives you time, it gives you an out too. You know, you don't have somebody, oh, you want to volunteer? Here's 6 days a week, you can do it. And then all of a sudden you're stuck with somebody who's not the right fit.
Absolutely.
You know,
and all of those have happened.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have your 3-year, 1 class a week volunteer. And then sometimes I know we have an instructor here, and she's absolutely wonderful, and she started the same way, and now she's teaching 4 or 5 days a week. Absolutely
Right.
loves it, and she's an amazing instructor. And that started from her
Exact same way as this gentleman.
Yeah.
Let me, you know, I'm gonna shadow, start coming to instructor training class, and yeah, she teaches a few of her own classes a week. In fact, she runs Saturdays for us, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, being gone this weekend, I don't want to be in the middle of my jiu-jitsu competition wondering how classes are going and hoping things are going well.
Yeah.
Now I know they're going to go well. She's been through the training for years with us, and it was not a hope and pray that she's a good teacher situation. It was a very intentional and structured way of getting her to the
And
point.
because, you know, her goal was to be an instructor and her goal was to learn how to do that, her path to that was faster, you know, to becoming a certified instructor, teaching her own class, than maybe somebody who just enjoys it as a hobby or something like that.
Right.
But the person that, you know, I find that the professional person who says, you know, I don't want to be an instructor, but I want to do this, what they do want to do is learn how to lead. They do want to learn how to communicate to groups. They do want to learn to become better public speakers for their career. And I have heard that many, many, many times. You know, these lessons help me do better at my job. You know, I've got to manage X number of people, and learning how to do that in a way that motivates them, like you do in a martial arts school, is important to them. So maybe they volunteer once a week, but the lessons they learn help them further their career. So
we've experienced that many times, you know, and we do require that they treat this professionally.
Absolutely.
So if they know they're not going to make a certain class, we ask for a 24-hour notice. Obviously, emergencies and things happen, but you know, we ask that if we know that they're going to miss, that they're going to let us know, because we have built up our roster of fill-ins that we can bring in, because we want to provide that consistent experience every single class, every single day.
Right.
And that's what we go over in our Monday meetings.
Right.
At we meet 1:15 p.m. Eastern time on Zoom, and going deeper into these topics, answering specific questions.
One example, for instance, you know, this is a portion of the instructor training manual, you know, and the class planners are all done. So what I'm teaching this week, you know, I know what that is, and then you could say, what are you teaching 16 weeks from now? You know, I could thumb through here and say, well, this is what we're going to be going over 16 weeks. It's all done for you, you know. So for instance, this lesson here on zero downtime, that, you know, is an important topic for us, you know, that students are never just not doing something. This new person who's coming in, you know, they're getting that lesson on what is zero downtime, but so is this instructor who's teaching 5 classes a week, you know, and beyond. So everybody is working on the same instructional topic, you know, in their instructor training class, that they can then go out on the floor and make sure that that's appropriate. And one of the things that was important in creating this was to make it non-martial arts specific. So for instance, we have Taekwondo, we've had Tai Chi, we have Jiu-Jitsu, there's all kinds of different martial arts out there. This instructor training program is teaching somebody how to teach. What they teach, that's other things that you plug in. So for instance, zero downtime structure and lessons in a taekwondo class look differently from a jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah, and
But the concept's the same.
it's exactly the same. We talk a lot about striking arts in our videos, but it is for every martial art. And like our jiu-jitsu class, my instructors in there, they're trained to do zero downtime. Because one of my pet peeves in class is seeing, like in our taekwondo classes, 10 kids in one line with an instructor,
Right.
get 9 kids. I don't care how good of a kid or an adult, to be honest.
Right.
When you got 9 of them and you got that much time in line, they're going to start poking each other and causing mischief. Adults, especially if you have a jiu-jitsu academy, I'm sure you're well aware of, your upper ranks sometimes don't like to get the reps in that the white belts are,
Right.
and the white belts are hungry. They want to tap the blue belts and the purple belts, and so they're training and practicing. But if you say go practice a move 10 times to get 10 reps, well, your white belts, it might take 10 minutes to do that because they have to learn the move. You might have to go help them. They have questions.
Right.
Your upper ranks might knock it out in 2 minutes. So then they have 8 minutes of time that's not being utilized. And like in my experience, like the upper ranks would sit there and talk or move on to a different topic or something like that. Well, our instructors are trained to use the timers. Okay, everybody, we're gonna go practice this this technique for 8 minutes. You put the timer on, so your white belts might get 10 reps in the 8 minutes. Your upper ranks might get 20 or 30 or 40 reps.
Right.
And now everybody's training, everybody's moving, and you have zero downtime in your class. And our brand new assistant, 60 something years old,
Right.
is getting this lesson intentionally, and he's going to know what we expect on the mat and why it's so important to keep that zero downtime, especially I would say especially with the kids class. They're more easily distracted than
adults they come here to a class because classes motivate you to train, right? So part of our job is to say, okay, you're here for 60 minutes, you're going to be training for 60 minutes, so here's how we're going to make you do it. And they appreciate that. They don't want to come here and sit on the mat.
No, no, absolutely. So guys, if you want to get more, more information or go deeper into these topics on how to get volunteers in your classes and to have them feeling comfortable and prepared going up to the mat, not just hoping that they're going to do okay, please join us Mondays, 1:15 p.m. Eastern time. The Zoom link will be, our email and contact information will be in the description below, and please reach out to us, and we'd love to talk to you and see if you'd want some more information, or we would love to have you join us.
Absolutely. It is not only a passion of mine to teach and run the academy here, but I hear instructors all the time with, man, this is I need help, I need help. I have an answer, I have a plan.
Yep.
Just start. This works.
Absolutely.
It works. So I hope you join us.
Awesome, guys. Well, I think that's a wrap.
Yep, that's a wrap.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Sounds good.
All righty.